Hello, college algebra students. So in class we didn't get to do the front page of 1.3, which are word problems, and I want to go ahead and go over those with you. So there are some suggestions of how to follow through on solving word problems, which is you want to let x represent unknown quantities. Step 2 would be represent other unknown quantities in terms of x. Write an equation in x that models the conditions set by the problem. Solve the equation and answer the question. Step 5, check the solution in the original wording of the problem, not in the equation obtained from the words. So example 1, we're going to kind of go through the problem solving process. So it says the median starting salary of a computer science major exceeds that of an education major by 21,000. The median starting salary of an economics major exceeds that of an education major by 14,000. Combined, their median salaries are 140,000. Determine the median starting salaries of education majors, computer science majors, and economics majors with bachelor's degrees. Okay, so starting with you're going to break it down sentence by sentence. So we'll start with the median starting salary of a computer science major exceeds that of an education major by 21,000. Okay, so right now it's defined, the computer science major is defined by the education major's salary. So that's actually what we want to make our x. Okay, so then I would say something like computer science equals 21 exceeds meaning more than. Okay, so if x is the education major, we'll say 21,000. Okay, would be our starting salary. And then from there, we want to set up the next equation. It says the median starting salary of economics majors exceeds that of an education major, which is x. So economics equals the education major, and it exceeds by 14,000. 14,000. Combined, their median starting salaries of education majors, computer science majors, and economic majors with bachelor's degrees is 140,000, right? Or determine the median starting salaries of education majors, computer science majors, and economics majors. Okay, so from here, we're going to kind of think about what we need to do, which it does say combined their median salary is 140,000. So that means all of them combined. So the education major is x plus the computer science major is x plus 21,000 plus the economics major is x plus 14,000, and combined it's supposed to add up to 140,000 total salary between all of them. Okay, so that's how I generate my equation. Again, this is the computer science, and that's the economics major, and then x is the education major. So we're going to solve it. So combine all the x's. So x plus x plus x is 3x. 21,000 plus 14,000. That's going to give you 35,000. Equals to 140,000. Solve. Subtract by 35,000. You get 3x equals to 105,000. Divide that by 3, and you end up with the education major getting 35,000. Okay. And then you also want to know, so now we found the education major, but we also want to know the other majors. So how are we going to get that? Well, plug it in. So 35,000 plus 21,000 is going to equal 56,000. Okay, and then the economics major would be 35,000 plus 14,000 equals to 49,000. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so that finishes that question. Okay, so for example 2, You're choosing between two texting plans. Plan A has a monthly fee of $15 with a charge of 8 cents per text. Plan B has a monthly fee of $3 with a charge of 12 cents per text, and 8 cents per text previously. For how many text messages will the cost for the two plans be the same? So we're going to generate two equations. One is for plan A, and no matter what, you're going to pay $15 because that's what it says, a monthly fee of $15 with a charge of 8 cents per text. Now the number of texts turns out to be X, so it's plus 8 cents per text. So this is our equation for plan A. So for plan B, your equation would be the monthly fee is $3 plus 12 cents per text, right? And now they're all free. They don't do like this as much anymore. But I want to know, when do these plans cost the same? For how many text messages will the cost for the two plans be the same? So in other words, I want to set these two equations equal because I want to know when they're the same. So I'm going to set 15 plus 0.08x equals to 3 plus 0.12x. Okay, and then I want to solve for x. So I would subtract 0.08 from both sides, because that's the smaller one. So that would end up with 0.04x, and over here it's 15. Subtract 3 on both sides, and we'll work up here. You'll get 12 equals to 0.04x. And then you'll divide both sides by 0.04. Okay, so then you'll end up with your answer, which is x equals to 300. Okay, feel free to use a calculator there. And that answers that question. Okay, so this one says, after a 30% price reduction, you purchased a new computer for $840. What was the computer's price before the reduction? So let's take it this way. So the original price is, we'll call X the original price, and at that point it was 100% of itself, right? 100% of that price was the original price. What happens when you take away 30%? So minus 30%, what do you get? You get 70%. That's the reduced price. Okay? That's the reduced price. Okay, 70%. But 70% actually equals, of x, actually equals 0.7. Because you divide by 100, it's 70% is equal to 0.7 of x, 0.7 times x. So after the price reduction, so after the 70% off the original price, or the 30% off the original price, you get 70% of x, which is 840. That's the reduced price. That's the reduced price. So now simply you can solve this equation and you'll get your answer, which is 1200. So divide by 0.7. Again, feel free to use a calculator. You get 1200. And so this is the computer's original price before the price reduction. Okay, so here it says you inherited $5,000 with the stipulation that for the first year the money had to be invested in two funds, paying 9% and 11% annual interest. How much did you invest at each rate if the total interest earned for the year was $487? Okay, so it turns out that you would have to use the formula for simple interest, which is P times R times T. Interest equals the principal times the rate times the time. Let's see here. We might not have to do that much. So what's the principal? Well, it's going to be, we're going to have to do this twice, but the principal should add up to 5,000. The rates are 9% and 11%. And the time is going to be 1 year because so it says over 1 year for the year. Okay, was 487. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to call fund 1. So this is fund 1 is X, and fund 2, I'll call it Y, and they should add up to $5,000. The total of both funds should add up to $5,000. And not only that, fund 1 should give me 9% interest. So 0.09 times X, that's going to be the interest, and then fund 2 should give me 11% interest, so that's 0.11 times Y. And then it also tells you what that interest adds up to, which is 487. So how much did you invest at each rate if the total interest is 487? Okay, so that's 487. Okay, so from here, what I want to do is you kind of get into maybe like solving what we call a system of equations. So I'll just kind of show you, but one method is solve for one of the variables. I'm going to solve for y on the first one. And if I subtract x from both sides, I end up with 5,000 minus x. Okay. And then the strategy will be, I'm going to use this, and instead of writing y right here, I'm going to write 5,000 minus x. So meaning I'm going to get 0.09x plus 0.11 times 5,000 minus x equals to 487. So you see I just plugged that in for y. Distribute, solve. Alright, distribute, solve. So then here I have 0.09x plus 0.11 times 5,000, which is 550. So that's 550 minus 0.11x equals to 487. Combine like terms, so this will be 0.09 minus 0.11, that's 0.02 x plus, that should be 550, plus 550 equals 487. Okay, then subtract 550 from 487, you get negative 63 equals negative 0.02x. And then finally you just simply divide and you'll get your answer, which is 3,150. And so that's for fund X. If I wanted to solve for fund Y, I can plug it in here and solve, or even better, plug it in here and solve, because I already have this in terms of Y. So 5,000 minus 3,150, which equals to 1850. And that's going to be fund Y, right? Because they both should add up to 5,000, and that solves that question. Okay, so example 5 says the length of the rectangle basketball court is 44 feet more than the width. If the perimeter of the basketball court is 288 feet, what are its dimensions? Okay, so here a good idea would be if you could draw it, probably be good to do that. So it's rectangular basketball court. The length is 44 feet. More than the width, actually. So the width is the unknown, or is what the length is defined by. So I'll say the length is 44 more than the width. So 44 plus x, 44 plus x, not 44 plus x. So that's the length. Okay, and that would be defined by the width. Okay, so then if the perimeter of the basketball court is 288 feet, what are its dimensions? So just remember, perimeter is the length of all the sides all the way around. Or if you recall, I can do it that way, right? I can say x plus x plus 44 plus x plus 44 plus x. And that's all the sides added up. And that should add up to the perimeter. And that should add up to the perimeter. So in total, there's 4x plus 88 equals to 288. Subtract 88 from both sides, you get 200. Divide by 4, you get 50. Okay. And just to show it another way, remember from back when, that's the formula for perimeter. So if the length is 44 plus x, I can put 44 plus x here, and the width is x, and the perimeter is 288. Okay, I can distribute and solve. 88 plus 2x plus 2x equals 288. So 88, you'll see you'll have a similar result. Subtract 88, 200, divide by, you still get 50. Okay, you still get 50. Okay, so that's it for that. Okay, final one I'll do is the length of an American football field is 200 feet more than its width. The perimeter of the field is 1,040 feet. What are the dimensions? It's pretty much like a repeat of the last problem, except now it's a football field. So it says the length is equals 200 feet more than the width that we'll call x, right? We'll call the width x. If the perimeter of the field is 10,040, what are the dimensions? Okay, so remember that's x, and that's also 200 plus x. But maybe this time we'll take the perimeter approach. Remember I told you this formula from the last problem. So the perimeter on the problem says it's 1040. 2 times the width, we said the width is x, plus 2 times the length, we said the length is 2,000 plus x. Okay, so we'll try to solve this. 2x plus 2 times 2,000 is 4,000, plus 2 times x is 2x. So here, okay, and I noticed an error actually. I put 2,000 here, I should have put 200. So 2 times 200 is actually 400. Let's fix that. And then I could solve it. So then that's 4x plus 400. If I subtract 400 from both sides, I'll get 640. I'm going to work up here now. Equals to 4x. Divide by 4. That's which way? 160. 60. So x is 160. Now notice it did ask for the dimensions. Okay, so I got to make sure to answer that. Well, I have the width, 160, but what about the length? 200 plus x. So the length equals 200 plus 160, which is 360. Okay, and that's your answer. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you.